Hi guys, and you're very welcome back to Destiny 2. Exciting times in the game at the moment with the launch of the exotic questline for Lumina or Lumina, depending on how you pronounce it. But a fantastic gun, very unique in the sense that you can heal your teammates and buff them. More on that later. First and foremost, we want to go and pick up this quest. If you've managed to get your hands on the Thorn quest, it's in more or less the same location in the EDZ. So we're going to head there to the EDZ to pick this bad boy up. So it's just north of Trostland. You want to go to the salt mines. Right, so let's launch in and just kind of head north, and you want to come in this entrance here. We'll speed it up relatively quickly. Skip over this if you've been here, you know where you're going and you've picked up Thorn before, but if not, just follow along. And while you're there, I mean, you might as well pick up the Thorn quest as well. Now, I can confirm, you do not need to have done the Thorn quest in order to take on this one, although I definitely recommend doing it. Both guns are related. Keep an eye on all the different little snippets of lore and whatnot. So when you come through the transmat, you just want to kind of run straight head up, knock out anything that's here, or run straight past it, entirely your choice. Now we're going to keep going and going and going, and we're going to have a little energy barrier on our right that we can't get through, but fear not, just head towards the left. Jump up here, and just continue straight, and when you get to this, I guess, burn out fire here, you should get the Thorn quest in there. Now, for the Lumina or Lumina, I'm going to call it Lumina, I've decided. Open this chest, and pop, you get a Fateful Gift, which is a quest step. So we're going to pop that open and see what's what. It says we need to identify the location of the original Thorn using our system positioning device. Now, the system positioning device is something that we also picked up with the quest right there. It's located in our pursuits. So we're going to have a quick look over. Now, this is a fun thing. So if you read that, it says that mine is currently located somewhere in the mists on Nessus. So I need to find my way there. Now, this location changes every hour, so yours may not necessarily be on the mists of Nessus. If it is, allow me to show you where to go. If not, you might have to Google it. So, here I am on Nessus. Here's my surroundings to kind of give you a gist as to where I'm standing. I'll show you on the map here now as well. Load up. You can tell I'm on console. So there we are. We're in the Tangle. I'm kind of just a little bit down there below the letter A, or between the letters T and A. We're going to head inside. There we go. Yes. So we're going to head inside. We're going to just run through here all the way until we get to the big main room. I'm going to do that now. This is an awesome questline. It is, there's a lot to it, but I found it all thoroughly enjoyable for the most part. Here's the main room. So we're just going to jump across to the other side of the main room in here, and head up top. Take these out if you want to, and turn to your right. Now down here there is a ledge you can jump on. There's kind of like a lit corridor right here, so just run in and turn right, and the chest will be just there on the right. I hit left there by accident, but it was on the right. Anywho, here's the chest. And when you open that, this part of the quest is complete, and we move on to the next step, Bearer of Evil's Past. So let's have a look at that and see what is involved and what we'll have to do. So it seems we need to generate 250 orbs of light. Now the good thing about this is we don't actually have to be the only ones generating it. Any player in your immediate area that generates an orb of light will count towards your total as well, and yours will count towards theirs if they're in the same area. So what I decided to do is I decided to head to Mars and do Escalation Protocol. Now, you could do the blind well as if you wanted to, or you could do anything really. I just thought, I happened to be passing an Escalation Protocol for something else, and I noticed that there's Guardians everywhere. And naturally, I assume it's because everyone's trying to do the quest, but regardless, every time I've ever done an Escalation Protocol, it's always been just mad crazy for Orbs of Light, so I thought this is a good place to do this content. And it really, really was. So I highly recommend Escalation Protocol, or the blind well in the Dreaming City is another fantastic location. Look, I've already got 217, and I was here all of, I think, 5 minutes from start to finish, if I recall correctly. Yeah, because these guys that I'm playing with here, well, they were generating a lot of orbs. I managed to get in 3 here, 5 there, 1 here, you know, but well, I think overall we all did a great job. Lots of orbs were generated, and this step went quite nicely. And the next step is Rose Revealed. So Rose Revealed is up on our quest list. So a few things have happened here. Pretty much we need to complete 3 pursuits in order to continue this one on. So there's not much we can do with this one right now. So let's have a look at the 3 pursuits. One is we need to complete encounters at the Blind Well, Black Armory, or Escalation Protocol. I chose the Blind Well for this one, as I was getting 7 points for every tier 3 with Heroic. Do a Nightfall strike with 50,000 or higher, and defeat multiple enemy combatants in a row without reloading your weapon. So that one, Defend the Light, without reloading your weapon, that's just going to happen naturally. So I'm not even going to worry about that. You've also received the Rose Hand Cannon in your inventory, so lock that bad boy up. Don't go deleting it. You're going to need that later. Alright, so on to Nightfall. So when it comes to Nightfall and getting your 50,000 points, you don't want to do the guided game beta. That will not count. You are actually you're going to have to go in here with a fire team. I know because I made this mistake. So gather a fire team, be it friends or go on to LFG if you need to on any of the forums. And yeah, just make sure your leader has maybe a few modifiers enabled on his Nightfall card, just to make sure that you can hit that 50,000 with ease. What a bad time to reload there, just as you're about to drop the last boss. But once you're done, once you've beaten Nightfall, you see the score we got there was 58. A reasonable enough score, I think. We didn't do too bad. But yeah, this was a nice fast pickup group. We went in, we got it done, and we all moved on with our quests, I guess. So yeah, you're gonna have to go into Nightfall. It's gonna force you in if you don't do it already. You're gonna have to get a fire team together for. And as for the activity, I did say I did the Blind Well, using tier 3 and then proceeding to Heroic. I was getting about 7 activity points per run. This did not take too long at all in the Blind Well. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. So when you've got the 3 of those done, your quest is going to move on to Fireteam Leader. We need to complete activities throughout the solar system with Rose equipped. We don't need to use the gun Rose, but it does have to be equipped. Now there's a few things you could do here. If you wanted to, you could say go to the menagerie, and you could equip your chalice, go through that. If there's a few people using Rose in there, you can get anywhere between 25 and 35% towards the quest. I got 25, I guess. I think the maximum you could get is 35%. I got 25, so a few were using it, but not everyone. But to make up the rest of the points, I was doing strikes. In fact, I started with the strike originally, and I think because we were all using Rose at the point, not using, but more we had it equipped, I got about 12%, I think. Yeah, from 1, but then there's other strikes where I was only getting 3%, so this can really add up, and this can take time. But it's an easy step to do, it's just a time-consuming step. So Menagerie, absolutely. If you want to jump in and do some runs of that. Otherwise, do strikes to your heart's content. Take your time, get other bounties out of the way while you're in here. And then you'll unlock Strength in Numbers. Strength in Numbers is where it starts getting fun. So we need to generate 50 orbs anywhere for anything. Right, let's forget about that. That'll happen on its own. We need to get final blows in the Crucible using a hand cannon. And we need to deny invaders' invasions in Gambit. Alright, so in Crucible, what you basically need to do is you need to get like killing blows on your opponents using hand cannons. But it's not just you specifically. Anyone on your team that kills anyone on the other team with a hand cannon, that counts. Now, I was delighted to read that because I am pretty crap in the Crucible. I usually spend most of my time, as you can see here, moving along pretty slowly. I'm out to kill people, sure, but I guess my primary focus is that I don't start costing our team points by just running into enemy gunfire. So I move with the team, with the bulk of the team as best I can, and I pick off shots whenever they present themselves. But, oh, that was a really bad throw. but I'm not out to die, if that makes sense. So luckily, about half of the team were using hand cannons. I got a few kills in with hand cannons as well. Like, I think by the end of this match, I had like 16 hand cannon kills. So it all added up, and I got this done in two control games, or 2 crucible games, we should say, is all it took to do this step. So don't be shy if you don't play crucible. I certainly don't. I'm pretty crap at it. Just take your time, stick with your team, kill what you can with the hand cannons, and team members that are using hand cannons, quite popular ones, Thorn, The Last Word, etc., will be helping you out with that, whether they want to or not. Moving over to Gambit, this was the bane of my existence. I don't even want to admit how long I was stuck on this step. What you need to do is, when an invader invades your area, for lack of a better word, you need to kill him, obviously. But you need to kill him not only before he or she kills someone on your team, but just after they have damaged or had a firefight exchange with someone on your team, but not killed them. That gives you a medal called Not on My Watch, and you need to unlock that medal in order to get the success for blocking the person coming into Gambit. This took a very long time. So what I typically did, following advice on Reddit and whatnot, there's like 3 different areas in the game. Now, wherever the enemies are, well, if someone's invading, they're not going to spawn where the enemies are. If your team are all focused in another area, the invader's not going to spawn there. So what I typically did is, when we were fighting enemies or a primeval, if we were fighting a primeval, we took it really, really, really slow if we were ahead, to allow the enemy more opportunities to invade. But I got it to a high enough area as I could, facing where the enemies are, so every time I seen an enemy invasion, I could turn around and look at the remaining 2 areas that are unoccupied, one of which that person's going to spawn in, right? And as soon as I spotted one, then I could just turn and engage. Now, sometimes they were too far away from me, sometimes they spawned somewhere else, sometimes someone stole my kill, but eventually, across many hours of Gambit, I'm watching here again, I'm just tapping away at this primeval, as you can see. I've got a nice area, a nice vantage point. There we go, we see there's an invasion, so I'm just looking over there, looking here, and there we go, he's come up just behind me there. Gonna hit him, super's ready, and there we go. Not on my watch. Luckily, as he was jumping, he was shooting one of my teammates. But anyway, that's a tough one. You're just going to have to stick with it. There's no easy way to do it unless you want to message people on the other team, which I've heard of people doing. Finally, we need to enter the strike Will of the Thousands with Rose equipped. So you got to equip Rose in your primary slot again. You do not need to just use Rose. You can use all your other weapons as well, but Rose does need to be equipped throughout this strike. So you just go into the strike as normal by going to Mars. And just kind of fly along towards this area. It's marked on your map anyway, and when you get here, you see this area is full of crystals. I tried with the sniper, but no, you can't pop them with the sniper. It needs to be done with the Rose. The goal is to shoot 11 crystals. There's like 7 or 8 outside, I think 8. There's more throughout the entire strike as well. There are more than enough crystals, so like get 8 out here, get them all, and then at some point during the rest of the strike, get the other 3. There's way more than you need, of course, because fire teams are made up of 3 people, and if there was 3 of you and you all needed this section of the quest, then each of you would have to get 11, right? So that would be 33. But anyway, get them all, then finish the last boss, and that's pretty much it. This has been a long endeavor, no doubt, but it's simplistic enough. This was simply it. Once that boss drops, you just gotta have a little patience. I was like, where's my gun? Where's my gun? These guys totally knew what I was up to though, so they were very happy for me. Thank you guys very much for helping me out here, you randoms. It was an absolute pleasure playing with you. And you get your weapons, and eventually your weapon is going to drop. You will have your Lumina, which I've decided to call it, but I'll keep saying Lumina or Lumina, depending on how you're choosing to call it. Anyway, hopefully you did find this video some bit useful. I really hope you did, especially the Gambit part, because I could not find advice on Gambit or what anyone else was doing. Anyway, if you like this video, please do hit that like button and like the video. If you're not already subscribed, consider a subscription. And until next time, take it easy. All the best.